Comedy on Cookman.
Oh yeah!
Who's ready to go 5 rounds with us? Okay, coming back to the stage, give it up for Nate Condit. Heavy Garifo. And your 2014 first half winner, Dylan Manigian. All right, Nate, you were on the show back in February. Obviously, a great job, another great job tonight. What have you been up to since February?
Well, comedy-wise, not that much. But generally, after the show, I was up to a lot of, it went downhill like an hour after I did that show.
Okay.
We decided to go to Seaside Heights. It was in February. And
I did warn you against this, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. It was in February, and we went to Bamboo, and it kind of looked like The Hills Have Eyes, dressed up in Forever 21. I was dancing on a dance floor. But afterwards, we went to Steaks Unlimited, which is a nice place to eat. And we were eating, and this guy named Seaside Tony came up to us and asked us, "Are you guys fagging out tonight or what?" And I'm saying this because we got it all on video, because Kevin Burke, who was on here before, he was with us, was taking like a video of himself saying this is the worst place ever. And then he came up, and then he left, and then we kept making fun of him, and one of his friends came up to defend Seaside Tony, showed us all his penis. And it made the grade of the restaurant go down from a D to an F.
Seaside Heights is one of the few places on earth where that kind of open homophobia and exposing yourself is perfectly acceptable. Also, I want to thank you guys, because personally, the day after Comedy on Cookman, for me, feels like the day after Christmas, like just all my best days are behind me. And that video came up on Facebook, and it was like I had a reason to live again. Like, this is going to be a good Sunday. I'm going to watch this shit like 15, 20 times. Garifo, you came on the show in March. What have you been up to since then?
Since then, I have joined a pro wrestling podcast because I felt that not having sex in high school and college wasn't sufficient enough for me. So yeah, I've been doing that. We are called the Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast.
So you had a bunch of big time guests recently. Who'd you have on the show?
Well, I mean, big time for like weirdos and losers, not for like normal people. Chris Jericho. Anyone watch Dancing with the Stars? Chris Jericho was on our show. Nick Foley, who I also just opened for doing comedy. So yeah, that's basically it. Just being a 31-year-old.
Right. Dylan, what have you been up to since you were on the show in February along with Nate? Obviously, one of our best shows. Both of you guys made the All-Star lineup. What have you been up to since then?
In my comedy life, not very much, and in my personal life, even less.
Yeah, we're going to second round TV. What I want is your favorite animated TV show of all time. The old school from when you were little, new school stuff like Family Guy, whatever you got.
I like Pokemon because of Squirtle. And I also like Rocco's Modern Life. Oh no, Doug, because his friend's name was Skeeter, which is also sexual.
Anybody ever watch Adult Swim?
Yes.
Yes, you guys do drugs, right?
Yeah.
No, you can't watch that sober. There's no just regular guy, no drugs, no weed, no alcohol. I really enjoy Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's impossible. Garifo, what do you got?
You beat me right to it. Aqua Teen is probably my favorite animated show. It's weird though, because like all the great shows when you were like a kid, like G.I. Joe and Thundercats and like Ninja Turtles, like you watch them now, they're so bad. They're so bad. So I have to go with the Aqua Teen with you.
Going way back as a little kid, I was a big fan of the Flintstones and the Jetsons, because it made it clear the past, awesome. The future, awesome. Where you live, horrible. What do you got, Dylan?
My favorite bad cartoon show was Voltron. Does anyone know Voltron? Who is the defender of the universe, which right off the bat, he only really defends one planet, so that's kind of a lofty title for him. And the best part about the show is the plot never changed. It would be this alien planet would send these robot beasts to fight Voltron, who was comprised of 5 robot lions. And they would always start off as 5 robot lions and try and fight, and it never worked. And then they would go and form Voltron, which was like a robot man. And they never figured out, why don't we just start out as Voltron? Why don't we skip all the lion stuff? And then what they would do is Voltron, he would form this blazing sword, and that was always the way he killed the enemy. And like they would never regroup after battle and say, "All right, I got it. Let's never be those robot lions. Never, ever, ever. Let's always be Voltron, and let's always have the stupid sword in our hand. Like, why waste our time not having the sword in our hands? Let's just start out that way." Voltron, defender of the universe.
Fourth round, music. We're gonna keep the Jersey Shore vibe going. I want your best ever New Jersey musician, go from Frank Sinatra to what's going on right now. Who do you like the most?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
He had 6 albums. I guess the give me answer would have been Bruce Springsteen, right? But like I was wondering, like, he always wears the white shirt and the jeans with the little the red handkerchief in the back. But I want to see him walk down some of the bad parts of Asbury Park with the red handkerchief in his back pocket. And then you'll see that Shaquille O'Neal really is the better artist.
And real quick, let me give you one of my picks real quick. I have one question for everybody in this crowd, in this panel right here. You down with OPP?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
How does Naughty by Nature get left out of this conversation? 23 years ago, they created a club song that people are still reciting back. And if you gotta remember, OPP, if you were a guy, meant other people's. If you're a girl, meant other people's. And if your parents walked through when you were playing it, it meant other people's property. That song came out, I was in 8th grade, so it was prime like bar mitzvah, confirmation party time. So you could be on at every religious function, just aunts, uncles, old kids. Yeah, you know me! And I'd be like, I don't think you know what you're saying, Grandma. Why don't you take it easy on the OPP? And that period of my life was also when I found out Jewish people and non-Jewish people are different, because for my confirmation, I received a Game Boy, and my friend Josh, for his bar mitzvah, got $50,000. What do you got, Kevin?
You're like in my head, because Naughty by Nature, actually, they're from the same area that I'm from.
Sorry to hear that.
No, it's cool. It's nice. It's a nice little spot. I actually was on, funny story, I actually got to perform with Naughty by Nature, with Vinny and Tretch at my high school, West Orange High School. They were doing like a rap awareness conference or something like that, because people in West Orange and the surrounding areas have no clue what rap is. We're 5 minutes outside of Newark. I'm pretty sure we got it. But then I was doing the camera on it, doing the camera on the side, and they performed, and I would outperform, completely busted my ass on stage while I was dancing. And they were like, "We're not with this guy. This guy's not. We are not with him." But no, I gotta go. I gotta give you Naughty by Nature, man.
Nice. Bruce Springsteen fans here? You got it, right? Well, we'll get to that. My problem with Bruce Springsteen is, and I'm a fan, but all of his songs are about, downtrodden guys that live at the Jersey Shore and their economy's crumbling and they're hard on their luck and they're past their prime and nothing's going right in their life. It just all hits a little too close to home for me. What do you got, Dylan?
My personal favorite is Blues Traveler. I've seen them like at least half a dozen times, but yeah, plug. But certainly the most overrated is Southside Johnny. I mean, he is anointed by Bruce Springsteen. He comes and plays with Southside Johnny, and he's not been able to turn that around into a bigger career. It's like if your friend said to you, "Do you want to go see Brian Kirk and the Jerks?" No, not really. Why would I want to do that? Because every time he's in town, Bono likes to show up and do a set with Brian Kirk. You know Brian Kirk? Do you want to go see the Nerds? No, I don't want to do that. Because every time he's in town, Bono shows up and plays with the Nerds. Is that a better reference?